I got our times mixed up a little.
Hey, no worries about that. I'm sure you're a busy man, so thank you, man, for giving us time.
No problem.
So it's going to be really easy whenever you're ready. I'm going to do a little intro presenting the radio show, and I'm going to introduce yourself. And mainly we're going to talk about the new album and maybe get in the past and talk a bit about the startup of the band.
Sure.
Cool. Whenever you're ready, my friend.
Hello there, it's John Doe. Welcome.
Hell yeah!
Really welcome.
Welcome, John, to our show, Prescription Punk Rock. It's really a huge honor to have you on the show. I mean, you know, X has such an importance in the scene, you know, since the beginning. So many things happen, and it's incredible. You released last year a brand new records, a crazy records. But before talking about that, let's go in the past. When you started up X, there was almost nothing in the scene, you know. You arrived with a new song, a new way of playing, and you know, you got labeled as punk rock, but I'm sure when you started up, that was not the vision you had.
I don't know. I mean, I was glad to be part of, to be called punk rock, because punk rock meant that you weren't part of the past. You know, punk rock meant that you were doing something new, and there was a huge scene in LA at the time. I mean, huge. There was a small scene that got bigger. But we had a lot of, there were, I don't know, 20, 30 other bands where there were people that were trying to do something different. And, you know, everyone was trying to figure out their own style. And we came upon ours, you know, just by influence. You know, the New York and London scene had already been happening for maybe a year or two. So, you know, we had some people around the world that we felt we connected with.
And, you know, I felt that, you know, your music was, you know, behind its time in a way. You know, a lot of bands tried to achieve that song but didn't succeed, you know, and that's the cool thing about it. And you surround yourself with people that maybe punk rocker were surprised of, like Ray Manzarek, which, you know, were from the Doors, and, you know, people don't know that he loved punk rock and everything at that time, but it showed a combination work to create something that, you know, even today is still really strong.
Well, we had, you know, I have my musical background. DJ Bonebrake, our drummer, has his. You know, Billy Zoom played with other R&B and rockabilly, you know, very famous people like Etta James and Gene Vincent. So he has his musical influences. And, you know, just because we appreciated and just got along and felt like it worked together, I think that's where we got our sound. You know, Exene was new to singing and being in bands, so and is a great writer. So she had that. You know, she influenced us that way, and she and I figured out a different way of singing. So you know, that gave us another unique quality. But with Ray, you know, he saw us and he just related to the connection that we had with our audience. He related to the lyrics that we wrote, and realized that our music was based in the same kind of influences that influenced the Doors, whether it was rock and roll or blues or country. You know, there was some connection there. Even though we didn't sound the same, he saw the connection between us and our lyrics, us and our audience, and us and our music. So, yeah, it was a great validation for us. It was a way of saying that, you know, someone from outside of our scene who happens to be a rock god could appreciate what we do, you know, and wanted to be involved in it. So that was you know, it helps your confidence some.
Yeah, and I'm sure he saw in you the same, when he started up with the Doors, where, there was almost anybody at the show, and people were like, what the hell is that music? And the keyboard, and they start from scratch, and they build something, as you guys did, and I'm sure that you want to pass the experience, but he saw way more in you than just another punk band,
Oh, I appreciate that. I think that we wanted to do something that was just true to us, and the fact that there were other bands in Los Angeles and around the world that wanted something different, that wanted to play something faster and louder, and the songs being what they were, that gave us a place. There's some power in numbers. If just one person is doing it, like I think it was very hard for the Stooges and MC5 because they were kind of two bands out of Detroit that didn't really have a scene behind them. So it was a little easier maybe, even though it was hard for the bands in LA because we were all helping each other. I worked on a couple of books that talk about that. And different people writing chapters about their experience. So it is, we chronicled it. It's out there. People can read it and understand it. It's not just, lost to history.
No, I read the two books, and it's amazing because, it's so much different view. Everybody has a different view of the scene. I mean, Henry Rollins, went from Washington, D.C., so it was pretty different than L.A., but his view from the L.A. scene is really interesting, even if it was not there, but he heard about it, and he went there, saw shows, so it's really interesting to compare, because, now it's impossible for kids to understand how violent the scene was at that time, and how unpredictable it can be, and how great and magical, all those things together with the new music, that new songs and band that want to create and push art. It was just wow, man.
Yeah. Well, everyone. It wasn't that violent at the beginning. It became a little bit more so as it just got larger as the scene got larger. People didn't understand it the same way, and they wanted. Some other people wanted to prove themselves and became a little more testosterone driven, and that happens. It's like everything evolves one way or another. So maybe at the time it was startling, or it didn't feel good because people didn't understand that we had to work together. We had to protect ourselves because the rest of the world didn't care about us. The rest of the world wanted to keep us. Didn't wanted us to go away. So to be fighting within with each other didn't make any sense to us. So it was a little hard, but things evolve and things change, and there's nothing you can do about it.
It's true, and I think people don't realize now that it's not a band who changed the music industry. It's always a scene, and it's always like that. If I take my generation, the 90s, it was Nirvana, but it was not just Nirvana, it was the whole Seattle scene, and I think it was the same with LA. Everybody did something. The zine there, the people that did interview, the radio shows that air you guys, like Rodney, it was all together, all those people that helped the band getting better and well known around the world.
Absolutely, yeah, and you, like I said before, you feel a certain power. You feel more confident. You feel like you're part of something, even if that something is pretty small. Even if that something is only 250 people, you feel like I believe in this, and I'm going to continue to work because. There's these other people that are doing the same thing, and I like them. They seem cool and they seem smart. So if they're doing it, and I'm doing it, then there must be something.
It's true, and I think you are part of like you said, the lyrics were very, very important, and when we read that, we felt that there's 4 brilliant people behind that band, and it kind of bring a lot of intelligence in the scene that maybe a lot of kids didn't understand. They were like you said, it was getting violence and everything, but band like you, the Descendants, and now Bad Religion, they all bring something with the lyrics that make you think and make you understand some emotion, and I think it was really important for the scene.
Oh, absolutely. And I studied poetry. Exene is just a natural gifted writer, and then he did and then she read a lot, and but she's just naturally like that. So one of our contributions is that we wanted to paint a picture that so people could see into a bohemian life, into an artistic life, to see something that they may not have known existed before, to bring up some something from the past, whether it was beat poets or poets from the 70s and 80s, just to be alive and to encourage people that they could follow along, that they could do that too, and I think that's a big part of being an artist, is to be accessible, to be able to encourage other people to try to be artistic, because it makes you grow, it makes you a bigger, more empathetic person. You understand other people's lives and things like that.
It's true, and it humble you. It show you that there are things way more important in the universe than just yourself and the ego. Because when you work on something, it's frustrated, and sometimes you just realize, okay, I'm maybe a good singer, a good guitarist, but sometimes it's really hard. And I think every record, that's the achievement. You work on something that it's not basic. It's hard to play and it's hard to create, but the result is always amazing and surprising.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully you find some surprises. Hopefully you're not just doing the same thing. But yeah, I think with our new record, or the record we put out last year, it's hard to say. I mean, why or how? Because we felt we could. But there were some kind of roadblocks because we didn't have a record company, we didn't have a producer, we didn't, know if we put all this time and effort into something, whether it would be released and whether people would hear it, and you don't want to just, work so hard with no for not to go anywhere. But it was very rewarding to see that we could still still put it together and still make it sound like us, and we didn't know. That's where the challenge is.
Yeah, and what I love about the records, it's you guys and girls have evolved so much over the course of the years with every experience, but the sound is better than ever, and I don't know if maybe the technology, but behind that, the lyrics is stronger than ever. Is it more easy to write a record now with the experience, or it's still tough, Oh,
it's both. I mean, well, it is, because when you're first starting out, you say chord changes. You can try this, you can try that. You can use some influences that you've had, since you've been growing up. So the first couple of records, 2 or 3 records, for any artist, sometimes are the best, because they've been waiting to express that. And after you've written hundreds of songs, you've used up some of those influences. You have to find a new influence or a new way to express the same thing. But I think with this record, since we've been playing together since, starting in '77, and then we got back together with Billy in like 1999. We've been playing for 20 years again, live, and not recording too much. We did a couple of Christmas songs and some things like that, but we understand. It's easier to understand what your strengths are after you've stepped away from recording, played live, and then you know that DJ has some signature ways of signature beats and some signature ways that he approaches the drums. So you can imagine that as you're writing the song, and I know that Billy has different ways that he's that are unique to him. So you think about that as you're working on the music, and we all worked on it together. I mean, Billy made more suggestions about how we could change some of the music and DJ as well, and so we felt like it was important to give us all credit in songwriting.
And there's so many bands that have one or two leaders, and they wrote everything, and at the end, band enter, and okay, we're gonna play that, and that's it. But it's so interesting that everybody work, and it bring a force and something that a chemistry that you just cannot understand if you're not inside that room with you four people.
Yeah, I think that most really. I don't know, just a band that has staying power, or a band that is original in how they express themselves. They have several members that are contributing to that. It's not just one. It's rarely just one person. You mentioned Nirvana or Pearl Jam, or all those bands. Any group that you can think of, even Motown or Sun Records, or any of the Stax, or any of those kind of scenes, everyone is making a contribution, and sometimes those people don't get the credit that they deserve. But it's also ego. If you step out of your way and allow, like on this last record, I would write and rewrite chord changes and melodies and things like that because it didn't work, and rather than say, well, this is the way the song was written, so we have to figure out how to make that work. If it didn't work, okay, that's not good, but there is part of it that's good. Let's keep that and look for something else, which I think is that's a product of age, where you can say that maybe I was wrong. Maybe I didn't know what was best. So you can rework it, and that helps.
Yeah, you're getting more humble, and you know where you want to go with it with time.
Yeah, you want it to work, so change it if it's not working. And humility is good. Yeah, being humble is great.
And that's another thing. You've always been close to the fans, and you always stay humble over the course of years. And you have such an interesting career. I'm sure you influence a lot of people, or a lot of punk, who think that I'm a punk rocker, I can do a shit. But you write books, you're in Hex, you write songs, you write lyrics, and you're an actor. And it's amazing how we close some door that could be open if you just try.
Well, yeah, I think I feel very fortunate that I have a few different ways to express myself. So, why not take a chance? I mean, you won't discover something if you don't take a chance to see what you can do.
It's true. And you did the decline of Western civilization, and after that, it seems like offer came, here, and you just said, okay, I'm gonna do it. Let's try it. And at the end, you were into really great movies that at past time, and people are still loving.
Well, there's a few maybe. There are several that no one should even see or care about, but there are a few that are pretty good.
I've got some in mind, but that's cool. It's always an experience, At the end, you learn a lot from the shooting, and then you have the chance to meet a lot of people. So, it's always a win-win.
It can be, yes, for sure. If you're present, if you keep your eyes open, and I certainly learned different ways of to sing and record and things like that through doing movies. It's because usually that's more internal than being on stage playing music. So you can take that, what you might have learned in acting, being a little quieter and still, conveying the emotion that you want to convey, and then you can use that when you're singing in the studio, because if you try too hard, it often doesn't work as well. You have to kind of be quieter, and then it will work.
I like it. It's so true. When you see people that I'm gonna do this, it never works. You have, like you said, just calm down, like do your thing. If it's not working, it's not working. Try tomorrow, but don't put a lot on yourself. I think it's always a balance. It's like everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's a lot of life lessons you can apply to art, and a lot of art lessons you can apply to life. And they all kind of blend together.
Yeah, it's so true, and I feel that through lyrics, that's what you try to say sometimes. Just do your thing and be yourself, and that's it. It's simple, but a lot of people still don't get it, and more now than ever with the pandemic.
Right. Well, that's a whole nother interview. That's something I don't think I'm equipped to talk about.
Yeah.
Survival, and try to keep creating, stay safe. Wait till there's more vaccines, and God, I can't wait.
Yeah, same. Missed shows, missed a lot, and then we wish to see X here in Canada and Quebec. Actually, did you came often around Quebec?
I think only maybe like 2 or 3 times at the most. We played in Vancouver most of all, and then across Canada a couple of times. Calgary, Edmonton, and Toronto a few times, but mostly Vancouver. Only Quebec, I think, 2 or 3 times. It's too bad.
We wish to see you back here. And Vancouver, when you started up, there was like a few bands. The scene was so small, there was like DOA, the Canadian Subhumans, No Means No. It was a really small scene, and it was really like around Edmonton to Vancouver. There was not much here in Quebec at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we played with those. We played with DOA and Subhumans. It was great. I really love playing with them.
Yeah, and it's another band that never gave up. They're still around, and Joey is still accurate more than ever. And I love the guys.
Yeah.
Did many interviews with him. He's such a gentleman, and I wish he fucking win. I know he wants to work as a politician. I really wish he win.
Yeah, well, I think he did have a position a few years ago, didn't he?
Yes. I'm not sure he's still doing it, but yeah.
Yeah, he's very smart, very politically smart, and has a lot of heart and a lot of determination. So he'd He's the kind of, he's actually too good to be a politician, because politicians are all shitty people.
He's too human.
He's too much of a good person to be a politician.
And now with the politician we have, it's no, it's not Joey. But man, he could change everything. I hope so. That's another thing. Next step, John, just like do something in politics. That's the next step. The only thing you didn't do. No.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's same here.
That's where I draw the line. It's like no fucking way.
Yeah, because you have to be the voice of everybody, and you know, it's just like, and you know how the system is now. You know, it's falling apart. So being part of that, not sure.
Well, we'll see. You know, I have a little bit of hope. I have more hope for our country now. You know, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God that monster is gone.
Yeah, and you know, it maybe surprise you, but here the news was all about Trump, even in Canada, where a lot of news were talking about that. It was all over the world, and everybody was like, man, he need to get the fuck out now. I can't believe he can pass again, and you know, and with everything that happened at the end, it was really a reality show for like 4 years, which is like fucking weird.
Yeah, that was awful. And but it's not surprising that it's you know, in the news, because news has become entertainment. You know, news is no longer just the facts and news. It had become, like you say, a reality show. So thank God that's over for now.
Yeah.
Or less. You know, I just feel like that if the megaphone is turned off, if the microphone is turned off some, then it's got to be less.
Yeah, turn X. You know, we need more X, not Trump. Damn it.
All right.
John, thank you so much for your time. I repeat myself, but it was really a huge honor. I've been following you guys since many years, and we always play you on the show. So, man, thank you for keep on losing money in the name of music.
Well, Eric, I'm glad. I'm glad to talk to you and hope that people enjoy it. You know, keep doing your thing, man. Just keep working hard, and you know, good things can come.
Thank you. You have a special place in Quebec. When everything's done, man, we hope to see you around here. We got great festival, and I'm sure some offers going to be on the table. So until then, have the time of your life. Say hi to everybody, and congratulations with the new record. People, you have to buy it physically. John, how people can buy the record to help you out? Now it's more important than ever. Buy T-shirt, vinyl, CDs, whatever.
Oh, there's, you know, X the Band is our website, and Fat Possum is the record company, and they have great music. Fat Possum does. Some of it's just, you know, weird blues stuff, and yeah, Fat Possum.
Very cool. People, go grab it now. John, thank you so much. Have a blast today, and can't wait to shake your hand in person on the next tour.
All right. Sounds great, man.
Thank you. Before we leave, can you do us a quick ID? Like, really simple. Just saying, hi, this is John, and you're listening to Prescription Punk Rock.
You bet. Hey there, this is John Doe. You are listening to Prescription Punk Rock, and it's a good thing, too, because otherwise you'd be listening to some shit.
I love you, brother. Thank you, John.
I'll do one more without swearing.
Yeah, if you want.
This is John Doe. All right. Hey there, this is John Doe from the band X. You're listening to Prescription Punk Rock. Good job. Keep it up.
Hell yeah, John, thank you so much.
All right, man. You take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.